Yes, sir. So, I hope everyone out there is staying warm. I live here in DC. We just got a ton of snow the past few days, so you can see I'm bundled up for the occasion. Now, today's news is going to be coming from local reports here in the DMV. DMV being DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Specifically, this incident occurred in Bethesda, Maryland, which is about 30 minutes outside of DC. What seems to have happened is a black Volvo drove into a Whole Foods grocery store, injuring a woman. Despite this fact, no charges have yet to be filed. It's a really interesting case. I'm going to run a clip to give you some background information and come back with some thoughts. Check this out.
I talked to shoppers who frequent this area. They think it is a miracle no one was seriously hurt.
Oh, there's a car in the... Oh, he went far.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
Reactions to this, a black Volvo SUV inside the Whole Foods on River Road in Bethesda. It went through the front sliding doors, which have since been replaced, through the produce department, and came to rest in the back of the store at the seafood department.
Did that happen today?
Noon.
Oh my gosh.
Montgomery County Police tells Fox 5 they're still investigating how this happened, adding the driver did stay on the scene. As for injuries, well, police say a woman was hurt, but not to the extent where she felt she needed to go to the hospital.
Unbelievable.
Now, I want to point out, and I hope you notice, the way that the media is covering this. First of all, it's strange that there are no charges pending on this case. If you look at the video and you see how deep that car got into the store, this is not an incident of, oh, I just made a wrong turn, or he was deep into the store, which shows he made no attempt to press the brakes. He made no attempts to stop the car previous to it getting deep within the store, endangering store goers. The fact that the media is trying to highlight the fact no one was injured, no one was injured. Well, one woman was injured, but it's not serious. They keep trying to upplay the fact that nobody was injured, and they are not asking any questions like, why is there no reckless endangerment charges? Why are there no reckless driving charges? Was the driver under the influence? If so, why is there no DUI? And if he was not under the influence, what was his motive for driving his car into the store? Despite the fact that the media is covering for this man, the police don't seem to be charging this man either. It's a very strange case, and I want to pay noticeable attention to this scenario because in recently, we've been seeing a lot of situations where terrorists have intentionally driven their cars into large crowds. Case and example number 2.
So let's turn now to that terrifying and deadly car crash early on New Year's Day outside a concert in Rochester, New York. Police tonight saying the driver appeared to be trying to run over the crowd. Here's Emily Aketa.
Tonight, new details emerging about what led to this fiery crash in Rochester, New York, less than an hour into the new year.
Massive accident, multiple pedestrians struck.
Investigators now identifying 35-year-old Michael Avery, saying he made at least half a dozen purchases of gasoline and fuel containers after driving to Rochester and then renting an SUV at the airport, later heading towards the Kodak Center and a crowd coming out of a concert.
Avery sped up, crossed into the oncoming lane of traffic, and appears to have intentionally been driving towards the pedestrian crossing.
Avery then struck a rideshare vehicle that had been pulling out with a force that pushed both SUVs into people, injuring 9 pedestrians and killing 2 passengers in the rideshare, Josh Orr and Justina Hughes, whose families say were best friends. This tonight from Rochester's mayor.
I have been getting inundated with questions as to why this individual would choose, number one, Rochester, New York, and why he would appear to target concert goers. Those are all questions that have been raised and things that we just don't have answers to yet.
As investigators comb through Avery's belongings, the FBI is underscoring.
So far, we've uncovered no evidence of an ideology and no nexus to terrorism.
Police say in speaking with Avery's family, they believe he may have been suffering from undiagnosed mental illness. He died in the hospital overnight.
So again, in this situation, we see the media trying to paint a picture by emphasizing the fact that, hey, we have no evidence that this is a sign of terrorism. Hey, we have no evidence that this is linked to any broader ideology. The media likes to cover for certain demographics when they go out and commit these atrocities, when they go out and, for no apparent reason, murder innocent civilians. When the media says certain buzzwords like thug, the image that comes to your mind is usually a black person. When the media says something like terrorist, the thing that comes to your mind is usually some type of Arab, some type of person from the Middle East. But when the media says this is a lone wolf, the phrase lone wolf, they try to isolate these lone wolves. These lone wolves are generally of the paler complexion, right? The complexion for the protection. They try to isolate these criminals, and they try to downplay their reasoning for doing these things. Rarely ever do they say that these people are terrorists, or rarely ever do they say these people were racist. They always say, well, this single individual was suffering from a mental health crisis. He didn't know what he was doing. He was mentally ill. It's a mental health issue. He's just a lone wolf. He was acting alone. They say this same brand, this lone wolf, this isolation of the criminality, when there are people, children shooting up schools, when there are people driving their cars into heavy, crowded areas. These people are always isolated and painted as lone wolves, whereas if someone gets robbed, it's the thugs, it's the whole culture. If someone bombs an area, it's these terrorists, it's the whole culture. I don't think this is by mistake, I think this is by design. But hey, that's just what I think. If you disagree, leave it in the comments section. Tell me where I'm going wrong. If you agree, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you've made it this far in the video, I salute you. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to do me a favor and smash the subscribe button. Try to drop content every day, so many videos every week. Come on back for videos just like this on a broad range of topics. I'm sure there's going to be something that you find interesting and entertaining. Without further ado, I'm going to leave you with some bonus footage, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Our most immediate concern is that violent extremists, individuals or small groups, will draw inspiration from the events in the Middle East to carry out attacks against Americans going about their daily lives. That includes not just homegrown violent extremists inspired by a foreign terrorist organization, but also domestic violent extremists targeting Jewish or Muslim communities.
I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke,